I'll get rid of people.
All right, I would like to call this regular meeting of the Hinckley Township Board of Trustees to order on Tuesday, October 3rd at 6:31 PM. Call the roll, please.
Swedek,
Here.
Asher,
Here.
Augustine.
Here.
And I would like everyone to ask to join in honoring our flag. Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would move to approve the minutes for the September 19, 2023 regular trustee meeting.
Second.
Seconded by Augustine. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let's have you swear Justin first.
Do we need to make a motion for Jeff
Yeah.
first?
We'll move to promote Patrolman Jessica Parente to the position of sergeant,
Second.
Effective date.
effective
Today.
was it October 1?
Well, pay wise, I believe the agreement is to go back to the beginning of the pay period.
Okay, as long as we're good on that.
That's
We're
fine.
good, Mike? Good on that? Okay.
Effective today.
right?
Second.
Today.
Second by Asherle.
Chief, can you tell us a little bit about the process, just so
Yes,
people can understand how that
I
works?
asked trustee Swedek along with two other chiefs from the county to interview the 5 officers that decided to participate in the process. That panel gave us their recommendations after speaking to, the 5 officers. Then myself and Sergeant Schroll and Sergeant Singleton interviewed those 5 officers as well. Kind of went over the questions they were asked in their first interview. We took a look at their personnel files, their work performance, and then we made our decision, and Jessica was number 1.
Very good, thank you. I think we should probably
we
vote. Yeah.
We're at.
We'll call the roll.
Swedek,
Yes.
Asher.
Yes.
Augustine.
Yes.
Thank you. How long have you been with us, Jess?
4 years.
4 years now. She's been virtually a role model for an officer in any community. We appreciate the service you provided so far. And hope that it goes on in the future. So, me, I, Jessica G. Parente,
I, Jessica G. Parente,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge my duties
and will faithfully discharge my duties
as a sergeant for the Police Department of Hinckley Township
as a sergeant for the Police Department of Hinckley Township
in Medina County, State of Ohio,
in Medina County, State of Ohio.
sworn to me and signed by my presence this 3rd day of October, 2023. Congratulations, young lady.
Congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate it. Congratulations. All right,
Now get back to work, Jessica.
I'm working right now.
One of my favorite memories of Jessica was coming up 303 and there was a police detour and traffic was at a halt and she was saving a turtle from the road.
Thank all you guys and thanks for coming up.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, Jared.
Thanks, guys. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jess.
I'd like to request hire firefighter paramedic Andrew Ratican, right? Racketan, I'm sorry. And no stringer, pending their passing their physical and background checks, which are due in any day now, at a starting rate of $14.78 per hour. Noah works with Macedonia Fire part-time, and Andrew is part-time with Brooklyn Fire Department. So they're coming with some experience and they were paramedics already.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Augustine, all in favor?
Aye. You
You guys would come up
guys
here,
can come up.
stand over by the flag.
So we'll do them both at the same time. So when I say your name, just say your name, say your name. Okay? All right. I
Andrew Racketine, Noah Stringer,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties
and will faithfully discharge the duties
of a volunteer fireman for Hinkley Township
of a volunteer fireman for Hinkley Township
in Medina County, State of Ohio,
in Medina County, State of Ohio,
during my service in the fire department.
during my service in the fire department.
Sworn to me before this third day of October 2023.
So,
Congratulations.
Congratulations, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. Sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Talk to you guys this week.
That's Martha, please.
Boys, you guys were released too.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you guys for coming up too. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you for being here.
Jeff, please.
Take care. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Do you need, is this for Martha?
Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't, yes. They're direct deposit form, sorry.
I don't have anything else.
Okay, I don't know why then.
Yeah.
I don't, then maybe you got mixed up. I'll grab it on the way out, Martha.
This is the background check.
Oh, okay. I don't know why Jen, I'll take it when I walk out.
Okay.
Maybe it just got mixed up.
I was gonna say, that's a new one. I don't normally.
Before we
Gotcha.
came, so I apologize.
Now we have Laura Toth, Director for Medina County Office for Older Adults, to talk about an upcoming levy.
Welcome, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing me just a few minutes to talk. I'm going to pass around an informational sheet, and then there's extras here that I'll leave. In 2019, the voters of Medina County passed the Human Services Levy, the first one of its kind in Medina County. It supports seniors, Office for Older Adults, Children's Services, Division of Job and Family Services, and the Addiction and Mental Health Board. And so for the past 4 years, we've been working really hard to be accountable for that money. It was enacted. We got our first distribution in 2020, and that was quite a year. I was thankful to have those extra funds when the pandemic hit. The number one thing that we do that I'll talk for a minute about is home delivered meals. I really feel that's the most important thing we do, because not only are we seeing citizens of the county every single day in their, 4 days a week in their home, we're kind of the gatekeepers checking on them, as well as providing a nutritious meal. And I break it down by county every month, and I really should share with all of you more often than I do the meals that we provide in your township. So in Hinkley Township, thus far this year, we have delivered 1,196 meals through the end of August to citizens of Hinkley. 74 meals have been served at the Brunswick Rec to citizens of Hinkley Township who drive over there to have a congregate meal, it's called. We sit down as a group together and eat. Last year, a full year's count in Hinkley Township, we delivered 2,261 meals over the course of the year. So we have been really out and about all over the county. I can tell a personal story about delivering meals because everybody in the agency does it. And I do it when there's a need, when we don't have a driver that's called in. And we deliver to a woman named Anna who lives on River Road. She's been on meals for probably 5 or 6 years. And really it sustains her in her home. She also has people coming to check on her besides the driver. But I was the driver that day, and Anna sits in her chair. But I knocked on the door and go in because that's per her instructions, but she was on the floor. And she said, I knew the driver was coming, so I haven't called anybody. because she forgot to bring her phone. She walks with a walker. So we were right there. She's like, I knew it was like, she was upset because she had fallen, but she's like, I knew you guys were going to be here in like a half hour. So that's just something that happened right here. We were able to call the Hinckley Fire and Rescue, and the police came out, and it was just what she needed. She just needed help up, which is not something we can do. We always call the fire department to come, and as that's their that's their specialty, not ours. The other thing that we do besides meals is we provide transportation trips for people who need to get to their doctor's appointments, need to get to their kidney dialysis appointments, need to get to social activities, which is also really important. We're trying to prevent social isolation as seniors, social isolation of seniors. So we're getting them to different activities, different events that we have, both at the Brunswick Recreation Center or at the Medina Center, or even at the fairgrounds for the county fair. We would transport people for things of that nature. And the other parts of the levy, the children's services portion goes to foster children. I wanted to mention that real quick because I've been with Medina County for 25 years. I can't believe that when it comes out of my mouth. But the first 10 years I worked in children's services. This was be to the mid 90s to about 2006. And I remember when I first started there, we had 24 kids in custody. It was in the 20s. And when I left her, it had doubled. It was in the 40s, about 47 kids in 2006. When Debbie Kiley talks about the need for children's services and the need for helping to pay for placements, she's talking about over 140 kids today are in foster care. And they're paying for specialty treatment, for placements. They're paying to train foster parents, recruit foster parents. And it's really it's a dire time, and we're just trying to help kids in the community. So we're trying to hit both ends of the spectrum between seniors and children in the community. And of course, the third agency is the Addiction and Mental Health Board. And especially since the pandemic again has really had a lasting impact on the needs, mental health needs that directly affect every family. I presented to, or I was at Rotary, I'm in Brunswick Rotary, and we had a presentation on mental health, a person that runs a mental health group at St. Ambrose, and he said 37% of everybody in the United States is either directly affected by mental health issues or has a family member who's affected by mental health issues. And I thought that was just really impactful and just shows the need. So we're just asking for your continued support for issue 15. 15 is a big number. It's going to be a long ballot, so please go all the way to the end. We hope that not only the trustees of Hinckley Township, but certainly all the residents will continue to support us in what we do. So thanks for these few minutes. Any questions?
Laura, I thank you so much. I know a lot of these agencies because of my wife, and every one of them deserves every dollar that we can give them. It's minimal what we're providing, and I urge everyone to. I don't think it's really a sacrifice. So I wish we could do more. So.
Well, and we're really pleased that we could just offer a straight renewal. We're not asking for any increase. We can do for the next 4 years like we've been doing, and I think we've done a lot.
Level of services is fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming out and explaining it to everyone also, so that if there's any questions about it, they see what it all goes to. So,
and please, any of the directors of the agencies, or you can call the county if you have any questions, you'll be directed our way. I'm more than happy to share any information, or if you're interested in helping out, whatever information you may need, you let me know.
I know that trustee Ray Schulte was a part of your board for some time and always spoke so highly of everything that you guys do in our county. So thank you for being there for our county. We appreciate you.
Thank you. He is missed by,
Mhm.
I'm sure, everyone. He's fantastic. Thanks so much.
Laura.
The run.
Thank
I'm double duty. I'm going to Guilford though. Thank you.
I need a helicopter.
Richard Burrow, I can speak from here. Why do you think there was a sevenfold increase in foster kids from 2000 to 23?
I think some of the reason is population. Certainly Medina County has gotten a lot bigger, but we've also seen a rash of things like an up in drug addiction, which is certainly meth has come through in the early 2000s and really had an effect on parents all over Medina County. So I think with the increase in population, mental health issues, and then some drug addiction. It really kind of all of our agencies fit together, but that, in my opinion, I don't have the answer, but that, in my opinion, is the main reasons why the number has gone up.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for.
Thank you. Laura. Okay. Martha, we'll stop over to you. Would you like me to make these motions first?
Yes, please.
Okay. First, I'll move to adopt resolution number 100323-01, reallocating the following: $5,000 from, is that an account number? Account 1000-760-740-0000, which is machinery, equipment, and furniture, to account 1000-420-120-420 operating supplies, and $95,000 from account 2191-760-720-0000 buildings to account 2191-760-750-0000 motor vehicles.
Second.
Seconded by Asherle. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Swedek,
Yes.
Asherle?
Yes.
Augustine?
Yes.
I will now move to adopt resolution number 100323-02 as follows. Resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor. Be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Hinckley Township, Medina County, Ohio, in accordance with the provisions of law as previously adopted a tax budget for the next succeeding fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2024. And whereas the Budget Commission of Medina County, Ohio, has certified its action thereon to this board, together with an estimate by the county auditor of the rate of each tax necessary to be levied by this board, and what part thereof is without and what part within the 10 mil limitation. Therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Trustees of Hinckley Township, Medina County, Ohio, that the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission in its certification be and the same are hereby accepted, and be it further resolved that there be and is hereby levied on the tax duplicate of said township the rate of each tax necessary to be levied within and without the 10 mil limitation. And be it further resolved that the fiscal officer of this board be and is hereby directed to certify a copy of this resolution to the county auditor of said county.
Second.
Seconded by Asherle. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Swedek,
Yes.
Asherle?
Yes.
Augustine?
Yes.
Martha, you have the floor.
Just briefly, you'll notice when you guys signed the bills that there were a few more electronic warrants in there. A couple of them are due to the fact that is, you guys have authorized me to do this, but we're running into problems with the post office. I'm probably not the only person that has that experience, but even 2 weeks for some of our accounts are not enough for a check to get to them without getting hit with some fees on them. So you're gonna be seeing more and more of them as I set them up. Postage is at what, 68 cents a stamp now, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just going to be something you're gonna see a lot more frequently for a number of reasons. But we're spending, $100+ every 2 weeks just to mail out the bills. And I did use the Ohio Edison litigation debit cards for stamps, and I put them in Suzanne's office there. So I think we're clear on that one. And I think that's it. So unless you guys have any questions, I'm gonna excuse myself. Anybody have anything?
I don't think so. Before you go, I'll move to pay the bills in the amount of $58,999.44.
Second.
Second by Augustine, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Have a good evening.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Thank you.
Just, I'm gonna leave this.
Thank you. I'll get on the
sheet
way
on
out.
the
Yep.
corner here. You can grab it.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank
Go, Dave.
you. Good evening.
Good evening. I have 2 items on the agenda. As the board's aware, we have struggled the last 3 years to obtain new cruisers. Luckily, two that we ordered at the first of the year will be in hopefully sometime this month. We did make the production cutoff. So that's the good news. Within the last week, Montrose Ford has an influx of cruisers coming in that are available from departments that canceled their orders. So I sat down with Martha, went over our fund status with the thought of purchasing an additional car this year. They won't be in until sometime in December. Martha's recommendation was to purchase two. Hence the transfer of funds this evening. Right now, our current fleet of 7 patrol cars, we have one that's well past 130,000, two that are past 120, and another one that's at 100. And they're starting to nickel and dime us to death a little bit with repairs, and we've been behind the last few years with getting cruisers. So my request is to purchase 2 additional Ford Police SUVs from Montrose Ford at a total cost of $92,158.28 to replace current fleet vehicles.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded by Asherle. Any discussion?
What are we doing with the old vehicles? Anything?
Once we pull them out of service, we will then auction them off on gov deals like we've done in the past.
Okay, just food for thought. I was speaking to somebody at the Medina County Career Center, and they had mentioned that they are in dire need of a vehicle. So just food for thought for future.
When we get to that point sometime after the first of the year, we certainly can entertain that.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Last item, request of,
We have to vote.
oh, I'm sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Proceed.
Thank you. Request appropriation of $6,000 to cover uniforms and equipment for our upcoming new hire, promotion, and normal replacement of uniforms.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded by Asherle. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anything further? Anything else for the chief?
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Have a good night.
Chief two.
Good evening, everybody. Request appropriations to repair engine 31.2 steering gearbox at a cost not to exceed $1,950 through general maintenance and service. We did send this out to another vendor and it came back almost double. We sent it to this company, which is here in Hinckley over off the Industrial Parkway, and they came back nearly half the price. I couldn't get it to a third because they were afraid that if we kept driving and burn out the pump because it's leaking fluid. This is the engine that's we're gonna be listing here soon to get to sell. All the grants through FEMA are being closed out. So hopefully with that being closed out, departments will be in need of trucks that did not get awarded grants throughout the nation. So we'll be listing that. But this is the one that we will be replacing.
So I just want to make sure that we have enough wiggle room. You said not to exceed
Yeah, they said it
1,950.
should be right there. They
Okay.
didn't see any other foreseen. It's got, the gearbox got to go sent out to have basically be rebuilt. That's what both places said. So they don't think it's gonna be any more.
Okay, perfect.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded by Augustine. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The only thing is, thank you for everybody that came out to Touch Truck. It was a great day. Weather was beautiful. We estimated around 400 to 500 people in attendance. Lifeline again was a no-go because they called me and said.
They were
"You're
saving
coming?" And
lives.
I'm like, hey, that's great. I go, usually you guys get runs. Oh, no, we're looking good. Hang up the phone. I make it out to the bay and they're like, hey, you jinxed us. We got to run. And they did try calling back at 3:30 and said, we can come. I go, what time? They're like 45 minutes. I'm like, unfortunately, our event will be over. We'll try.
I would
soon
have
next
been
year."
there. I would have,
know,
I mean,
yeah.
I would have checked it out.
But there was new trucks and vehicles and all that, so it was a great time. Thank you for everybody participated and showed up and attended.
It was a very nice event. It
Yes.
gets bigger and
Yes.
better
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
year. So thank you for
And
all the
next year-
time that goes into organizing
Thank you.
it.
Next year will be special because just like when we purchased the last engine, we had the wet down ceremony and push in ceremony. February is when the new tanker is scheduled to come, and we will have the ceremony for that to kind of christen it and welcome it into our fleet.
And this year it was 85 degrees and bright sun. So
Yes.
next year will probably be
Don't
rain.
even,
And-
no,
Just
we're not
jinx it,
jinxing that. We're not jinxing that. We've lucked out.
So thank you
Yes,
for
thank you.
organizing it. I just, before you scoot out of here, I wanted to know if you wanted to give a little update. I know you had a meeting again this morning with the Metro Parks
Oh, yes.
regarding mud
yes.
rescue.
Yes, yesterday. We met with Cleveland Metro Parks. We went down the lake while that was draining really fast. They purchased, I got the email a little bit ago, they purchased plywood and we're gonna work with them getting some rope tied onto the plywood. It's stored, I have their master key so that any point in time we can get it. Our next course is to work with the Medina County All Hazards team and to work with potentially Summit County All Hazards team. What we found out is Summit County, in the last 5 years, they drained Kendall Lake. And they had somebody get stuck out there. And the Valley Fire District went in there and started and got to the point where they couldn't, they had called their team. Summit County has what's called an air knife. It's compressed, it blows air in there to kind of freeze everything up. It's made for trench rescue, but it works in mud rescue. Mike Stanek, the chief of Sharon, was actually on that call. When I called him to ask, make sure we didn't have one, he goes, actually, Summit County does. So we're gonna meet with our county team, which then will kind of make contact with their, and we will have it set up in dispatch that if something happens in the lake with it, everybody's coming right away, so we're not behind the 8 ball in any of that. Because I know there are already people on Facebook, there were metal detecting out there, and we're on the shore going, I wonder what that is, and I wonder what that is, and now you know there's gonna be curiosity coming sooner rather than later, so.
If you're
we are being
watching,
prepared.
please don't
There-
go
and
out.
so
You'll get
everybody knows
stuck.
too, talking to the Metro Parks, that lower hiking trail that is on the west side will be closing once the construction stuff comes in, and all that is an ordinance to stay out. So they will be finding any trespassers there, and along with when the county all hazard teams come out, there are fees and fines that go with that because of how labor intensive the equipment is and reimbursement costs and all that. So it can become a hefty rescue if we do have to call in all the resources.
Mhm. Good information. So we'll rescue you,
Yes.
but we'll bill you.
Yes,
So.
that is all from that's all from FEMA. That's where all that, because the all hazards team are associated with FEMA.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you for a great event
Thank
on
you.
Sunday. And after that, you did the flag burning ceremony with the
Yes.
Boy Scouts. I appreciate you coordinating with the service department, police department.
Yeah,
and
it was a nice
making-
time.
making
I
a
got there
fantastic
late
event.
because everything was kind of just kept going.
You just
but it
don't
was-
sleep.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Thank you. I appreciate you and your work of your
Thank
wife
you.
as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Nothing further for the chief? Good evening, sir.
Everybody be safe.
Thank you.
Have a
you.
good
Thank
night.
Need to pull the mic over, Mike.
I'll be the one to grab it.
Thank you.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Good. How about you?
Oh, not bad. Just a couple things on the list from me tonight. First one is going to be motion to approve pad replacements on McKee Trail by Trimore Corporation at a cost not to exceed $9,000. Their quote came in at $83.60. We're gonna do a do not exceed cost just in case for extra material or whatever hiccups they may have up there. So just so we can do this once and be done with it.
Very
So
good.
moved.
Second.
Second by Augustine. Any discussion?
When's the plan to start that?
McKee,
Mhm.
hopefully Friday.
Okay.
Thank you to our team for being out there and working so hard on the key.
There's a lot of water issues
It
we
was a
gotta do.
lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of undermining going on out there that we gotta take care of yet after the pad replacement, so.
Well, they're doing a great job. We appreciate it.
All in favor?
Hi.
Second thing on the list that I have is request appropriations to purchase an M18 top handle chainsaw through Home Depot at a cost of $699. This is a specialized saw. It's gonna be for our bucket truck. The top handle that we use, anything to do for tree work up there. We've been slowly moving over to battery saws and we've had pretty good luck with them. So, it's never gonna replace the gas saw, but they do work and the safety features on them are a bit better than gas. So
Would support that, so moved.
Second.
Seconded by Asherle. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Just a couple quick updates. We only had, one person come to the pre-bid meeting today. It was Trimore. For Bethany, the bids will be due by Friday this week, and then obviously the special meeting one to open them, so. But also for Breezy up on Valley Brook, they're moving right along. They're gonna start paving tomorrow, and weather pending, hopefully do the main line Friday, so we'll just have to see. All depends on weather. It doesn't look good for the end of the week, but we'll see what happens, so.
Okay, and just for the public's knowledge, that special meeting on Friday, it's at 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock?
One.
That's what I thought.
Also, Boston Roadworks done, completed. Payments are made, so that's all squared away. So that's
Oh, from Royalton.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Well done.
Yeah, that's about all I have, as long as I can get someone to sign this, so I can send it over to Trimore. Morning. Thank you, sir.
all right. Anything else for Mike?
No, thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Have a good evening, sir. Thank you.
too.
Zoning.
Just wanted to update the board and the public. Bluestone will not be on the Medina County Planning Commission agenda for tomorrow evening's meeting. And honestly, I don't know if they're going to be seeing it at all. They're still determining if it would be considered a subdivision. And that will be coming through with approval or denial as to whether a turning lane is necessary from ODOT. So just to keep everybody updated on that, our Hinckley.
Who is they determining that? Is it county or?
It's gonna be coming specifically from ODOT. If they have to have a turning lane, that will be a part of the conversation as to whether it's considered a subdivision.
So ODOT needs to determine.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. The zoning commission, our Hinckley Township Zoning Commission will be seeing the Bluestone project as well as Country Brook Cove here on Thursday at 7:00 PM. So that is my update for zoning. If anybody has any questions about any of those projects or would like to see them or would like me to go over them with them, I am available
You said here?
here at Town Hall Thursday night at 7:00.
Is it still their final site plan review?
It is
For
final for
Thursday?
both. Country Brook Cove has approval, conditional approval through Medina County Planning Commission. Bluestone, like I said, it has not been seen by Medina County Planning Commission. I don't know that it will be.
So why would our zoning be seeing them?
Because the way that it works is that it's not necessary for it to be approved or denied by Medina County Planning Commission before our zoning commission sees them. It's quite an interesting situation. I've had conversation with Denise Testa about it as well as Marcus Fisher. It's just a different way of doing things as we wait for ODOT's determination.
So we'll just be reviewing it. They won't be approving it.
They will be approving it or denying it or doing an extension, whatever they choose to do. They may say that they want to wait as well. I don't know what the zoning commission will determine. And just a reminder to everyone, Hinckley Township trustees do not have a say in whether developments or businesses are approved. We have no say in that. That is through the zoning commission. So that is Thursday night's meeting. And I don't have anything for cemeteries, but I think that we all have the discussion on the letter to ODOT.
I did.
Okay,
I
'cause I
had
had it on
addressed
mine.
that on social media with someone saying that I would suggest that to the board. Melissa, I know that you saw it on social media. So Jack, to bring you up to speed, there has been a lot of discussion on social media from residents concerned about the cross traffic does not stop. I had contacted ODOT in the spring about seeing if we could put a cross traffic does not stop sign onto the stop signs at 606 and Stony Hill because there have been several accidents over there. I contacted ODOT. I know Melissa contacted ODOT. I know that ODOT has received at least 2 emails from residents also asking for them to add that. ODOT has come back and said that they've done 2 traffic studies there and they do not deem that it's necessary to add a cross traffic does not stop sign there. So someone had suggested over the weekend on social media, actually, Paul, I think it was you, you're sitting here in the audience. Maybe it might go a little bit further if the Board of Trustees were to send a letter to ODOT. And I wanted to know your thoughts on that.
And just so the public knows, I have the email in front of me from ODOT. They said that they studied this in 2020 after receiving a request from Chief Setner, which happened at a public meeting. They said that the review crash data and the crash reports that they used showed that there was no real crashes related to the cross traffic does not stop. But they did also say that it's 3 years since the last study. So they would be willing to maybe come out and look at it again. And I think now is the time to approach them since it's been 3 years.
So they said they're saying there's no issue with cross traffic does not stop, but are they saying they wouldn't support putting that signage up?
It says crash data was reviewed from 2015 to 2020 as part of that study, and majority of crashes were caused by vehicles on Stony Hill failing to yield to traffic on State Route 606. No vehicles ran the stop signs, and there were no indication that drivers thought it was an all-way stop intersection, which is why they do not feel a cross traffic does not stop sign will be beneficial, because most people did not think that that was an all-way stop intersection. So the 3 years is the factor to me in the letter, that it's been 3 years since the 2020 study and it's 2023. Let's take a gander at it again.
All right, I don't have a problem with that. Ask them to come out and look at it. I would like to be there when they look at it, if they can tell you.
Well, I was going to, first of all, I just wanted to see if the board supported this. And I could draft a letter that I could send both of you and we could approve it at our meeting in 2 weeks, asking if they would come back out.
I think
I'm fine with you just telling you to do it now.
I was going to say, based on the residents' feedback and their concern with this intersection, this is something we've been concerned about clearly since I was here in 2020. We could just email this engineer. This is the district traffic engineer that I have, and just say that the trustees are requesting a traffic study be done since it's been 3 years.
Is that the same one that you and I both spoke to in the spring?
Who is your contact?
I can't remember. I have to look up his name. He was also the same one who was dealing with the school zone.
Mine is different because it's a female. So
Okay.
Maybe, do you want to give me your email contact and I can email both of them and copy you all in on it?
No, I can send the email, like I had said.
Okay.
If you'd like me to incorporate yours, I can do that, but I was just gonna, I was gonna send it on letterhead, but if we want to just send an email, that's fine, and I can copy everybody on it.
I think an
Works
email
for
is
me.
adequate. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, moving on, Melissa.
Yes, just wanted to update everyone. I was at the flag retirement ceremony for the Scouts on Sunday and had conversation via text with Jeff Schuster today. He wanted the board to know that he's not sure if the sustainability of long-term burial is what we should all be vying for. So he actually has been in talks with Medina County Solid Waste Department to seek avenues to potentially recycle the fibers. So just to give you an update on that. Do you guys have any questions on that?
I do not.
Okay. The last 2 meetings, I've been mentioning just the Judd feasibility study that was done in 2008. It's just something for us to look into as trustees to garner further knowledge. I'd like to make a motion for myself to attend the OTA October 12th training, JEDS, new uses, trends, pitfalls, and the use of collateral agreements for a cost of $50. It's just in an attempt to garner more information.
I'll second that and I'll open the discussion. I'm still opposed to a JET at this point in time, but if you want to attend that to, further your education, that's fine. Any other discussion?
I have no objection to you attending the training to get additional information, but I think we had agreed that we were going to wait and deal with the annexation and the appeal before we had any further conversation about a JED. But I have no objection to you attending the training.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. And then you sent an email today about the annexation. I just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page about that hearing that's coming up as far as liaisonship.
Yeah, if you have no objection, that's
Okay,
Okay.
I have no
Okay.
objection to you being that person.
very good.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, and then in October, we supported, of last year, we supported opposition against the I-71
Oh my
interchange.
God, has it been a year?
It's been a year, and I've made copies for all of you with the old resolution as well as a new one that I'd like to present to you this evening. When I went down to Columbus to the State House with Senator Romachek, and we had Representatives Miller and Ray there, they are putting together an appeal. And I think it would be more powerful if Hinckley Township stood behind it. So I'm offering this resolution for your consideration. And it just reiterates that really, you know, the safety of our citizens is important to us. Our road traffic would change the rural character and nature of the town that we live in. And certainly, you know, we would have more road issues and funding that would have to go towards those in an effort to allow for this interchange to happen. Now, just for the public's knowledge, interchange itself would be located in Brunswick, but it is at the Boston Road site. So that would bring traffic into Hinckley, up and down Boston and West 130th Street. The commissioners made a resolution as well to support the appeal as well as Brunswick City. So I just thought we might move forward collectively with them.
Did you just write this?
It came from Brunswick. I have adapted it for Hinckley Township. That's what we did with the last resolution that we passed last October.
I don't have any objection. It just would have been nice to have it before just now.
I wish I could have given it to you sooner. I sent it to the prosecutor's office for review. And I honestly still don't have an email from them yet.
There's a spelling error in section 3 at the end, so. But I don't object to the content.
Then we can change that. So if the trustees are in agreement, I'd like to make a motion for resolution in support of the proposed replacement of the Ohio Revised Code section 5501.60 as contemplated by SB number 155 and HB number 276. Whereas on or about March 29th, 2023, the Ohio Attorney General Assembly adopted AM sub HB number 23, which without limitation enacted Ohio Revised Code section 5501.60. Ohio Revised Code section 5501.60 provides that when the boundaries of two municipalities, corporations are adjacent, the Ohio Department of Transportation shall ensure that limited access, exit, and entrance interchanges to an interstate highway located in those municipal corporations are constructed at intervals of at least one interchange every 4.5 miles when the following conditions exist. One, the adjacent municipality corporations each have a population of more than 35,000 per the most recent federal census. Two, the municipal corporations are located in different counties. Three, at least one municipal corporation is located in a county with a population of at least 1 million per the most recent federal census. Whereas the city of Strongsville has long proposed a new interchange at Interstate 71 at Boston Road. The interchange, Whereas upon information and belief, the Ohio Revised Code, section 5501.60 would require the Ohio Department of Transportation to construct the interchange as one, both the city of Brunswick and city of Strongsville have populations of more than 35,000 for the 2020 federal census. Two, both the city of Brunswick, Medina County, and city of Strongsville, Cuyahoga County are located in different counties. Three, the city of Strongsville is located in Cuyahoga County, which has a population of at least 1 million per the 2020 federal census. Whereas this board, per resolution 101822-22 adopted on October 18th, 2022, and attached hereto as Exhibit A and incorporated hereunto by reference, has opposed the proposed interchange as same will without limitation. One, increase vehicular and large industrial traffic on West 130th Street in Hinckley Township. Two, result in increased roadway maintenance, repair, and replacement costs to the Hinckley Township relative to Boston Road, West 130th Street, and other roadways in Hinckley Township. Three, negatively impact city of Hinckley Township residents, including those residents in the vicinity of the proposed interchange, and is a threat to the safety and of residents and businesses in Hinckley Township. Whereas this board is charged with protecting the health, safety, and welfare of its residents, yet it's increasingly preempted from acting to fulfill those official duties by the Ohio General Assembly. Whereas on or about September 14th, 2023, Senator Romachuk introduced SB number 155, which proposed to repeal Ohio Revised Code section 5501.60. Whereas on or about September 18th, 2023, Representatives Miller and Representative Ray introduced HB number 276, which proposed to repeal Ohio Revised Code section 5501.60. Whereas the Hinckley Township Board of Trustees hereby resolves section 1, this board does hereby declare its support of the proposed repealment of the Ohio Revised Code section 5501.60 as contemplated by SB number 155 and HB number 276. Section 2, that the fiscal officer is hereby authorized and directed to forward a certified copy of this resolution to the Strongsville City Council, City of Strongsville, Mayor Thomas Persiak, Ohio State Representative Thomas F. Patton, Ohio State Representative Melanie Miller, Ohio State Representative Sharon A. Ray, Ohio State Senator Mark Romachuk, Ohio Department of Transportation Director Jack Marchbanks, Northeast Ohio Area Coordinating Agency Executive Director and CEO Grace Galucci, and the Board of Directors for the Northeast Ohio Area-Wide Coordinating Agency. Section 3, that this resolution is hereby declared as a measure necessary for the immediate preservation of the public health, welfare, and safety, and for the additional reason that this township wants to express its support of the proposed repealment of the Ohio Revised Code section 5501.60 as contemplated by SB number 155 and HB number 276.
Second.
Seconded by Asherle. At the top here, where it says by trustee, this should be from the board, no?
It's just who made the resolution.
Okay, and then it mentions at the top of page 2, negatively impact city of Hinckley Township.
Yep, I can change that. I'll just say negative impact Hinckley Township. I was trying to pull it from the old one where we had gone from that 10/18/22 resolution, which may state that.
And I saw you pulled out council in the
You
last
did.
one.
Mhm. So I will update it based on how we read it tonight and how it's approved and send it to Martha. If it's approved.
Second as amended.
Second as amended by Asherle. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
We have to do a roll call because it's a
Call the
resolution.
roll. It'd be Augustine,
Yes,
Asherle,
Yes.
Sweattick, yes.
perfect. Thank you very much for your support of that. Okay, we all got an email from a resident about Ohio Hometown Heroes. This is a resident who is a veteran of the United States Coast Guard, and he is proposing that Hinckley Township post hometown hero banners, similar to North Royalton's, along Ridge Road for next year's Memorial Day. And the program is to attract veterans and their families and call it Heroes Boulevard. And he sent us some ideas as to what that looks like in other communities, as well as an application that North Royalton uses. And then he also emailed me that Perry Township charges $100 for the banner, $100 for the mounting hardware, and then $42 per banner for installation. So the township actually wouldn't pay for any of it. It's all part of the application process. So the person who wants to have their hero noted on one of the poles on Ridge Road would in turn pay for the banner and the pole and everything that goes with it. So I just wanted to talk to the trustees about it. It doesn't have to be something we decide today, but wanted to bring it to everyone's attention and see what your thoughts were.
I was,
Go ahead.
sorry, I was confused with the renaming. Is he asking that we rename Bridge Road?
I think it's just to coincide with this. It's an idea. It's kind of a name for the process. It's called Heroes Way. We're not actually renaming Ridge Road. We don't
Okay.
have the ability to do that.
Okay. I was uncertain what the ask
I was
was
too,
in
because
that.
that's exactly what he says, propose the section of ridge that runs through Hinckley be memorialized and renamed Heroes Boulevard. So, yeah, if that's not something we can do, obviously, we don't, that's not ours.
We have no power there.
Yeah.
Well, I am drafting a letter to ODOT, so I mean, I can slide that
throw
one
it
in
in.
with it, so. What do you think our odds are better of getting cross traffic does not stop or renaming Ridge Road?
Renaming Ridge Road, honestly. So like I said, I just wanted to see if you guys had any questions or had any response to it. So I could go back to this gentleman and at least tell him we had conversation and what your feedback might be.
I think it's a nice idea. Honoring.
Agreed.
Okay, now, there's a chamber meeting on Thursday. I was gonna actually ask them if they would be a part of this and maybe help facilitate the funding part of it as far as asking for monies, putting together the application, or do you feel this should be a township endeavor?
If the town, I mean, I would say if the chamber wants to.
Yeah.
Take it on.
So I can at least ask
Yeah.
them and get back to you and let you know. Okay, perfect. I will do that. Thank you. I think it's a fantastic idea myself, and so I'm excited to be a part of it if we could make it happen. Okay, very exciting news. Is everybody on the edge of their seat? That's a no. I've got word from Mr. Carpenter, who's a principal at Hinckley Elementary, and in working with him, as well as in conjunction with the Cleveland Metro Parks, who would like to give an update on the lake at one of our upcoming meetings. We've dialed in either November 6th or November 8th at 9:30 a.m. as meetings, trustee meetings. So as I've stated in the past, Hinckley Township trustees have worked with the Hinckley Elementary School to go in and sit in the auditorium or the gym or wherever and have a trustee meeting in front of the students so that it aligns with their curriculum. So oftentimes they're learning about township government and we wheel in there and say, okay, this is how a meeting works and this is kind of what we do. And Mr. Carpenter is saying between his dates and the Metro Parks, November 6th or November 8th at 9:30 a.m. And I wanted to see if you would be willing to remove November 7th trustee meeting from the calendar and opt for one of these two dates. The Cleveland Metro Parks are also equally excited because they know a lot of kids spend time at the park and at the lake and would like to probably have an update.
Oh, you mean move our regular meeting to 9:30 a.m.?
On either the 6th or the 8th. So right now we have a meeting scheduled for November 7th.
The 8th is election day anyway.
The 7th is election day.
7th rather, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so these are the 2 days that coincide for both entities.
I would prefer the 8th, but I can, as an option, but I'll probably be able to do either.
I don't have a preference, so.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding it correctly. So the meeting would be at the school,
Yep, that's what we used to do before COVID.
so we couldn't stream it.
No, we cannot stream it unless we each take our computer and zoom in and people look at us instead of the kids, because I'm sure we have to be conscientious of that some children don't want it, their parents don't want them filmed or on camera. It would be an old fashioned meeting. Is what I
I
like to
think
call
it would be really, really boring for the kids to sit through.
It usually is.
Oh, they love it. The
I
police
mean,
chief and the fire chief.
I mean, I know our audience right now is riveted. Look at them all. I mean, the facial expressions, but I mean, I can't imagine a first or second grader
We used to do it every year.
sitting here.
Is that what the grade is, first and second?
No, it's third. It's
Oh,
third
well,
grade.
there you go.
Mhm.
Huge.
Okay, I honestly can't imagine my sixth grader like sitting here saying like, wow, this is great. So that's just my opinion on it. So, I mean, if you're both fine with it,
I would be up to try it once, but if it turns out to be a bust, it'll,
before we agree on that, I need to check my work calendar.
Sure.
Are we okay with that? Can we say tentatively if you both want to do it, then that's fine. But can I just check my work calendar before I agree to the 8th?
sure.
Yes, that's fine. I just need to get back with the Metro Parks because if they can't make that meeting, they want to make sure that they're able to be here to present.
I will
to
send you
us.
both an email this evening when I get home and let you know. I have a lot of meetings in November, so
I appreciate it.
let me check the calendar.
Okay, perfect. All right, and just quick follow-up, we had a gentleman attend a meeting recently with the Be Smart program, and it was specific to firearm safety, and we had posted it on, the police department had posted it on their Facebook, and I just wanted to let the public know that they have access gun locks at the police department, so if anyone's in need, you can visit the police department and talk to them about that. Also wanted to offer clarification because it's been in the public recently, that when I've offered different funding options for water here, none of them required further taxation on our citizens. So I just wanted to clarify that. And I have one more thing. So,
Wait, are you talking about the TIF as well?
that's not an additional tax on our people of Hinckley.
It's taking tax money. I will not debate you on it. But it's definitely tax.
I don't agree with that. So
Okay.
I just, people are saying, oh, I don't want to get taxed, and that's not, we're not adding any additional tax.
Tax is the first word in the acronym, tax.
And that's because of how it's structured. So although I had hoped to put this topic behind me in an effort to move forward for the betterment of Hinckley, it keeps coming up, and there is now a Google Drive being shared on Facebook and an email. And I just want to read something into the record in order for my voice to be heard. This is from a document that I sent the Board of Trustees on September 13th of this year. And it reads, Hinckley Township Board of Trustees. I am writing to share my concerns about the validity of information regarding the investigation of myself as it pertains to Patrolman Asherle and the work environment that stems from this event. As new trustees, the situation was vast and unprecedented. However, I feel that the Board of Trustees did not perform or conduct themselves in a manner that besieges a trustee. The records of the issue document a completely different narrative than the one that was shared with the board, and that the board has in turn shared publicly. On April 28th, 2022, Chief Setner began asking me for documents associated with complaints that did not exist. Further, he was asking for said documentation weeks after our conversation regarding 2 issues. One of the issues was more specifically about how the police department handled the situation at Buzzard Day. And because Patrolman Asherle was in attendance that day, residents asked why he wasn't doing anything about it. I do not consider that a complaint against Patrolman Asherle. I will note that these happenings are all after the patrolman held a private meeting and vote to leave the OPBA police union. Patrolman Asherle reported a complaint to the OPBA based on hearsay from Police Chief Setner, and had the OPBA police union write a letter on May 13th, 2022, stating that he was being harassed and defamed by me. The letter reads that my actions were of a personal nature that I, has with fellow trustee Monique Asherle. So just for the public's understanding, Patrolman Asherle is married to Trustee Asherle. I had only spoken to Patrolman Asherle about 3 times between January and May, and each interaction was brief and kind. I had no ill will towards Trustee Asherle. For reference, I bought both of them hot chocolates on election day, as I did all other candidates. I sent a congratulatory email to the new trustees and was excited to be a part of the first board that consisted of 2 women. Further, I facilitated due binders filled with pertinent information and meetings with all staff to include tours of township buildings for the new trustees. And lastly, I provided Trustee Asherle with the pictures of her swearing in that were later used for the cover of the Hinckley Record. In a records request made by the new Patrolmen's Union, the FOP, I noted that I was never anything but complimentary and thankful in all text messages, emails, and correspondence with Police Chief Setner. Chief Setner has recorded 2 of our phone conversations without my knowledge, and I never spoke against anyone. In addition to my longevity in office, there have never been any complaints against my character or my dealings with township employees. More specifically, and in the OPBA's words during our 1-hour meeting, after their letter outlining Patrolman Asherle's complaints, there has not historically been any issue between myself and any police staff. In fact, the OPBA's attorney admitted that the Hinckley Police Department has never felt anything but positive and respectful support from me prior to this incident. Patrolman Asherle and I were not afforded due process or a fair investigation. The Board of Trustees should have done their due diligence. In fact, they did not even ask me a single question about the accusations. Further, they allowed the police chief, who told Patrolman Asherle that I made the complaints against him, to investigate. Why would someone directly involved be a part of any investigation? On June 7th, 2022, Chief Setner made a statement at a public meeting after a resident called on him to speak. He said that there were a series of complaints made by me against Patrolman Asherle. He had investigated the complaints and found no substance to the allegations, and as a result, the OPBA filed what amounted to a hostile work environment grievance against me and requested that I be removed as the liaison to the police department. In accordance with section 1008.6.1, supervisor responsibilities in the Hinckley Township Police Department Policy Manual, page 469, personal complaints, there should have been steps taken had I been the complainant. Those steps would include C, follow-up contact with the complainant should be made within 24 hours of the department receiving the complaint. E, promptly contacting the township fiscal officer and the shift sergeant for direction regarding the roles in addressing a complaint that relates to sexual, racial, ethical, or other forms of prohibited harassment or discrimination. G, informing the complainant of the investigator's name and the complainant number within 3 days assignment. H, making reasonable efforts to obtain names, addresses, and telephone numbers of witnesses. J, ensuring interviews of the complainant are generally conducted during reasonable hours. Section 1008.62. H, the interviewer should record all interviews of employees and witnesses. Section 1008.6.6, notice to complainant of an investigative status. The member conducting the investigation should provide the complainant with periodic updates on the status of the investigation as appropriate. Section 1008.9.3, notice of final disposition to the complainant. The chief of police or the authorized designee should ensure that the complainant is notified of the disposition, i.e., sustained, not sustained, exonerated, unfounded of the complaint. Had I been the complainant, as designated in the letter from the OPBA and the public statement made by Police Chief Setner, then why wasn't I afforded the opportunity to document my complaint as outlined in the police department policy manual? I do not consider this a true investigation. Police investigation is defined as the work of inquiring into something thoroughly and systematically, detecting, detective work, and sleuthing detection. There was no inquiry to my side at all. Further, I was not removed as police liaison. I stepped down to avoid any conflict on July 7th, 2022. And from our meeting minutes that night, after a brief discussion, it was deemed an appropriate time to determine changes in liaisonships due to Ms. Augustine stepping down from her role as police department liaison. I never was the complainant. I did my job and I reported complaints. Had there been a viable issue and a true hostile work environment, Then why wasn't a grievance filed? The Board of Trustees did not ensure that the procedures were followed by the police chief during the investigation and took no action to ensure that a true investigation happened, which is a grave disservice and fiduciary irresponsibility within our community. Further, the investigation is full of inconsistencies, falsifications, and hearsay. Proficient documentation to back up many of the claims is lacking. This is the first time that I have publicly spoken about this. As I said earlier, I had hoped to leave it behind and work collectively for the betterment of our community. There is more to this document, and it can be obtained through a records request during township hours. But what happened to me last year and at the beginning of this year is based on unfounded claims. And I want the public to know that if they have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. No one's ever asked me a question about it. That's all I have.
Trustee Asherle.
We have our annual Kimball resolutions for the assessments. So I would like to request a motion to adopt resolution authorizing Hinckley Township to accept the Kimball Company's second half property assessment payment of $1,445.85 from the Medina County Auditor. $3.87 will be deposited to the general fund from the property penalties assessed on two properties from first half assessment paid second half of this year.
Do we have a list of those properties?
Probably, yes. Right there.
Thank you. I would just like to see that.
I will second. Any further discussion?
I just had been contacted today by a resident who made a payment today, and I just wanted to make sure that they are not listed on here.
Well, this is all from last year. It's not from right now. So that's not going to be on the list.
Geez, that's tiny writing. Okay.
Call the roll. Augustine,
Yes.
Asherle,
Yes.
Sweattick, yes.
Right. Request a motion to adopt resolution authorizing Hinckley Township to pay Kimball Companies Incorporated $1,441.98 from the second half collection of taxes T16001 for 2022 unpaid trash.
Second.
Second by Augustine, discussion. Call the roll. Augustine,
Yes.
Asherle,
Yes.
Sweattick, yes.
Okay. We discussed at the last meeting having a Christmas photo contest, having people submit their houses that they decorate for Christmas and sending those pictures. Maybe we said an option was to Hinckley Elementary School and letting the children vote on the best decorated house. So I did hear back from Mr. Carpenter, who said, yes, he said, I think we can do something with this, which I'm going to translate as a yes. So I wanted to talk to you both about, instead of relying on the media to print about this, what would your thoughts be, since it would be the first year of it, taking out an ad in the Hinckley Record to promote this?
Do we have cost of what that looks like?
Sure do.
Okay.
If we wanted to do a half-page color ad, it would be $257 or $182 for a black and white. If we wanted to do a quarter-page color, it would be $148 or $103 for black and white. They will also design the ad for us at no charge. So we can just determine the content that we want to have in the ad, and they'll put that in there.
The quarter page color was how much?
$148.
I think that would be adequate. That's just my opinion. It's a great way to reach everyone. We have kiddos that are, and family members that are part of different school districts. So that, I think that's a great idea.
One issue. Hearing in one issue.
Yes, just, it would be in the November. So this would be, I would have to have everything submit to them by the middle of October for their deadline. So it would go in the November 1st Hinckley record. Just to give you both, timelines, what I was thinking of is, Melissa Martin, the editor from the Hinckley record, said they would do a cover story on the winning house for the January 1st issue. They would just need to have, they would need to know who it is early in December so they could do that. So I was thinking if, you know, this goes in the November 1st Hinckley record, we could have, all the pictures are due to the township by November 27th. And we could send them to the school and have the kids vote on them either November 30th or December 1st. And we would have our winner so we could submit that to the record. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's great. I appreciate you culminating all the dates.
November 27th due, and it's just going to be,
And our first,
a high resolution. It's gonna have to be, they'll have to submit a high resolution photo to town hall by November 27th, which, yeah, we'll say
they're making a December 1st is the decision day for them.
December 1st voting day.
So we could approve it on the 5th if we feel that's necessary.
Just announce the winner, which I'd probably let the record know before that, just so they can schedule. Schedule with the family.
Perfect. This is an idea we said as soon as we got the website up and running. So I'm excited to make it come to fruition.
And to confirm, we said a 1/4 page color. Is there
For
anything, is there anything else that you two would like to see incorporated into that ad, other than our website? Because that's where and do you think, I was thinking the top 3 homes could be showcased on the website? Or do you just want to do, I mean, I'm assuming we're not going to get 25, but you know, if we get 5, you know, maybe just put all 5 on there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I will
Well,
let them know.
we don't meet again before the 15th. Is the 15th the deadline?
Well, we meet December 5th.
No, to get in the November issue, I think you have to have it October 15th.
Well, I was gonna say, why don't we make a motion now for the 1/4 page?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Okay. I would like to make a motion to purchase a 1/4 page color ad with the Hinckley record for the November 2023 edition at the cost of $148.
Second.
Second by Augustine, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
I will send that to Martha also, so she knows. Okay, just a recap of our community shred day that we had on Saturday. It was the first one and it was a big success. We got all positive feedback from it. We serviced 216 cars that most people were coming for the paper shredding as well as the electronic recycling. I see a lot of people in the audience that participated in it. So really good feedback from everybody. It was a great location doing it at the school because of the way the parking lot is set up. There were no backups. It was just pull into the front lot to do paper or pull all the way around to do the electronic, or you could do both and you didn't have to get out of line. The Boy Scouts were there selling popcorn. The only feedback that I did get is people were asking, who can I make a donation to? So because we had already decided not to collect anything for donations, we just directed everybody over to the Boy Scouts and said, you can donate to them. And people are already asking for another one in the spring. I said, I don't know that that's necessarily realistic to do it again in the spring, but I wanted you both to know that it was a success and people would like to see it again.
Very good.
And a reminder to everyone, if you have not done so yet, please submit your trash and recycling survey by this Friday, October 6th. We already have about 225 surveys in, so I'm sure we have another 1,000 out there of everybody who's just dying to get that survey back in. So I
Excited to
have.
see the results. Thank you.
All right, I don't know if I sent you the estimate for the east wall renovation. Yes, okay, very good. That came in at the price went up substantially, 102,000, 102,007. So we do have the funding to go forward with that. I had discussion with Martha. And do you have the architects? Did I give you that? I think I gave that to you as well.
Mhm.
This is the architect's bid. So the proposal is roughly 2,600 plus an additional 250 for them to handle the engineering and bid process. At this time, I would.
Do we know which line this is coming from? Is this coming from contracted services?
This is coming from whatever line Martha wants. to- She confirmed with me though. She's
I
got
just-
it taken care of.
Got it in front of me. I was curious.
So I'll move to adopt a resolution to hire Makovich and Pusti Architects to provide the engineering and architect work necessary to prepare the bid for the energy efficiency upgrade to the east wall of the old fire station and to handle the bid process for that project at a cost not to exceed $3,000.
Second.
Seconded by Asherle. Any further discussion? We're just bleeding energy over there. That's the problem.
I know.
No further discussion. I'll call the roll. Augustine?
Yes.
Asherle?
Yes.
Sweattick, yes. Okay,
When do they think they'd be able to,
it's gonna be an ASAP thing.
okay,
So I-
before the weather really,
They're-
like the January
they're gonna-
cold
they're gonna-
and,
Yeah, they're gonna come out and look at it again and we'll get the bid out.
okay.
Um, I told you both, I had discussions with Rod. They're very happy with what the service department has done so far. And I spoke with them about the ball fields. Suggestion was maybe we could do 2 of them. And I had a discussion with Martha as well about the funding for that. The funding is there. There's enough in the site improvement unnumbered line as well as the recreation line to do this. So she's okay with me moving forward. Ra is also looking to see if they have enough funding to throw a 3rd field in to get all 3 of them done. So they would participate in that.
And that's gonna be the draining, like redoing the field.
It's
Fixing the
conditioning
draining.
and renovation.
Is it
So-
gonna be the dirt and sand they put back on, or was it gonna be that?
So I sent to you.
Oh, my goodness. Did you
Yes,
email it?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
And I printed it. It's over
I
here
don't read my
somewhere.
emails, Jack. Okay,
So.
thank you.
With that being said, I'll move to adopt a resolution to hire Lewis Landscaping and Nursery Incorporated to perform the infield conditioning and renovation for Kovac Field 1, Ball Field 1 in the amount of $11,245 and Kovac Ball Field 2 in the amount of $10,707 for a total cost of $21,952.
Second.
Second by Asherle, discussion.
Is that a preferred vendor that Ra uses?
This is, and he actually, he's very involved as far as the T-ball stuff and brings the price down as far as he can.
That's quite a bit less than we were thinking it was gonna be also.
Yes, so I'm appreciative to the work that Taylor and Mike have done and hopefully they'll be happy with this and I would be, so. Any further discussion?
When will they start doing that?
As soon as possible.
That's my question today. I just wanna know, let's go. Let's go.
I like it.
I just wanna know if we're gonna be on it in the spring, so.
It'll be done
Okay.
in the fall period, yeah.
Oh, nice. Even better.
So I will call the roll. Augustine.
Yes.
Asherle.
Yes.
Sweattick, yes. So I was going to entertain executive session, but I think that considering the time, I provided you both with a copy of what I worked up for the employee manual. So I'll let you have time to look at it. And I'll send you a couple of crib notes I have on other pieces that I'm looking for. And I'm going to ask Suzanne to add that to the meeting on Friday, is it the 6th this week?
Is that, are we still doing a contract negotiation that day?
Yes.
Okay,
So
are
you-
we sure we want to add it that day then? So we don't know how long contract negotiations will go.
Well, we're going to do the bid opening first.
Right,
I'll add it on there. If it looks like we can't accommodate both, we'll pull it away.
okay.
So, all right. Then
Can we do, if we're gonna do it, can we do this before the contract negotiation, since I will
No, you gotta
recuse
wait.
myself?
That is a
You
very
make you
long-
wait out here and
I think that they had requested a specific time for that negotiation.
they said like 1:30.
Maybe we could always do another work session for the employee manual.
Push it to next week and do it then. All right.
Do you have a date in mind?
When we see each other on Friday, we'll figure that out. How about that?
Are we gonna add that as a reason to meet on Friday?
No, scheduling a meeting doesn't require a meeting. Then the other piece of it was to ratify a labor agreement. I don't think we need to go out in there to do that because we would just have to come out to vote on it anyway. So I will move to adopt resolution ratifying the labor agreement between Hinckley Township and the Hinckley Township Police Sergeants Union, the Ohio Patrolmen's Benevolent Association, OPBA, for the contract retro to October 1, 2022.
Second,
Seconded by Augustine. Any further discussion? Call the roll. Augustine?
yes.
Asherle?
Abstain?
Abstain. Sweattick? Yes. That is all that I have. So we're open into the audience. Come on up, sir, to the microphone, sir. State your name and address for us.
I'm Paul O'Neill, 2398 Weymouth Road, Hinckley. And I'm here to talk about the Weymouth Road and Stony Hill Road intersection. I think the issue is a little bit more complicated than just putting some signs up. As most people here know, Weymouth Road runs at a 45-degree. It doesn't run north and south or east and west like most roads in the town. As a result, when you're heading southwest on Weymouth Road, to be able to turn onto Stony Hill Road, you have to turn not a 90-degree angle, but you have to turn an acute angle. And if somebody is at the stop line on Stony Hill, you can't make the turn. Or if cars are queued up on Stony Hill, more than one car, you cannot make the turn. I've seen dump trucks go into the ditch there, which leads, I did review the ODOT accident reports, and it seems to be that there's very few reports in their database. So I'm curious, when accidents happen, when people get towed out, do they get reported to ODOT, or do they just get resolved locally and ODOT's not aware of the issues? The other thing I think should happen is somebody should do a videotape of the issues with the intersection. My understanding is they're going to be doing a design review of Ridge Road and Weymouth Road. And there's possibly a traffic circle going in there, a roundabout. And they're just chipping and tarring the road right now. So maybe they're not putting a lot of money into Weymouth Road right now until they figure out what they're doing. But it would be, I think it would be prudent if we have the county engineers ask not only ODOT, but also the county engineers to look at this intersection as to its design. I think the way the road is laid out, it's deficient, especially since Hinckley is no longer a town of less than 5,000 people. Plus, there's a lot of traffic that goes through Weymouth Road, since there's no interchange between I-271 and 71. And a lot of people, a lot of construction vehicles and other vehicles take that route. And the way Stony Hill and Weymouth Road is designed, it's confusing for drivers, especially when you're in Stony Hill and you want to make the left turn and you don't have a good line of sight. There's a telephone pole there. The neighbor who lives at that corner, she planted a row of Scotch pines, and ODOT had her remove them. But it's still a blind corner. So I think there's a lot of confusion. I think the police reports, whatever you might have with the Hinckley Police Department, should be reviewed, see if they match up with what ODOT has in their database. If the people that were involved in accidents at that intersection, maybe that should be part of your letter. And videotape of the intersection. I think you should take some cars, maybe some patrol cars, and the town dump truck. Try to make the turn. See if I'm right or see if I'm wrong about that intersection. Demonstrate it to ODOT and then ask them what they're going to do about it.
Thank you, sir.
Sean Pepera, West Wind Trace. Melissa, you had mentioned during the candidates night that grants are very important to our township, and I agree with you. I do know that you served on the as the executive director for Optometric Refractive Surgery Society Incorporated. You had said that you had written well over 60 grants and that they are a pinnacle in all nonprofit organizations. And I absolutely agree with this statement as well. I'm curious, during your tenure as executive director, what type of grants have you applied for? Were these grants federal, state, or private? Thank you.
Ms. Pepera, I appreciate you being at candidates night. And if you weren't, that's a very good recap of kind of what was said. When I sit here at this table, I'm an elected official who's been elected by the people of Hinckley. I'm working for them. I'm using their tax dollars to sit here and be paid by them. And I will not be answering any questions as a candidate.
I'll do my due diligence to research it.
I'm happy to answer any questions you have about my candidacy at another time. This is just not the right platform.
Anyone else? Yes, sir. You were already up. You made the trip twice.
I watch
Paul-
the angles.
Yeah, this is at a 45, right? Paul O'Neill, 2398 Weymouth Road, Hinckley, Ohio. I've heard the term agricultural freedom bantered about, and I was wondering, what is that? I'm involved with agriculture, and I've never heard that term before. Anybody want to elaborate on that?
Again, that is something that I said on candidates night. And if you have a question with regard to me as a candidate, I'm happy to answer it at another time.
Nikki Long, 1941 Parker. So should there be a public hearing then before Bluestone is considered or put up for approval or denial vote by the zoning commission? I mean, I haven't been to a meeting in a while, so maybe I'm not understanding why there wouldn't be one, but I thought there would be one.
Ohio Revised Code does not make it necessary for a hearing as it comes to a final site plan review.
Okay.
This is
So
a
it's
standard process, happens routinely with the zoning commission. They approve things.
so it's not an approval of the project, it's just their site plan review.
Final site plan review.
Okay, which is not necessarily the approval of the project.
It would
Right.
serve as the approval of the project,
Okay.
and hearings not required.
Have they been done before?
Yes.
The public hearings have been done before, but not in this case.
It depends. It's typically public hearings align with a BZA meeting. This is not a BZA issue. This is a zoning commission issue.
Okay, thank you.
Hearings are only if there's a change with the trustees as it relates to the zoning map or the text of the zoning resolution.
It does seem premature, though, to be having a final site plan review, knowing that half of the information is missing. They're still waiting on the ODOT traffic study, which could change a lot with the project.
Just caution the board to speak about the project before the zoning commission has seen it. If you have any questions, please reach out to Denise Testa at the Medina County Planning Commission, as well as our chairman for the zoning commission, Mr. Marcus Fisher. They both have very good information that they can share with you.
I have no questions. That was just my statement.
Anything else? Okay, nothing else for the good of the order. Move to adjourn at 8:01 PM.
Second.
Seconded by Asherle. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.